Yo, what is up, guys? It's your Warlord Gangster coming at you with the only character in team building guide you will ever need. And I cannot do this without the people at pridewin.gg doing kind of like the back end of the work here. Um, I haven't really heard of this site, or like it took me a little bit of time to find because I had to scour some like Reddit stuff, some like recommendations, and also some YouTube videos. So this is kind of me just kind of getting the word out there so people can like kind of find the website and make it a lot bigger. That way the people at Pridewin can really prosper for all the back end labor that they put in. So let me give you this. Okay, let's say you're a free to play player, or you just like hit the banner a bunch, and then like you're blessed with, oh, I don't know, dude, like Sampo. Okay, you're given like E6 Sampo, and you're like, man, I gotta have this character, or whatever, or anything, right? You're just like I have to have this character. I don't know how to build them. I don't know what teams they're good with, anything like that, right? So let's click on this man, right? And let's scroll a little bit down. Now I'm gonna give you a forewarning, okay? Not all of the builds are done yet. They're still a work in progress. The game is new, right? It's not even been out for 2 weeks. So again, give them a little bit of time just in case like a character comes out or something like that, and they're like, oh, I don't have this build like right away, right? Like, and again, you could probably do some figuring out like at that point after you're kind of familiar with the game with other characters when you're starting out. But this is just to kind of like give you the baseline, right? So let's go in here. It gives you a build, right? And you can go through here. It tells you, right, the relic sets that are good on the character. And again, as you get more familiar with it, you can kind of go along and build your own. But this is a really good baseline to start with, where it tells you what the set does, as well as, kind of the best building parts of it, right? And then also, if you go over to the planetary sets, so it tells you the same thing. And then one great thing that it does is the light cones, right? It'll give you light cones that will have different options for you. So let's say you don't have a light cone, right? Say you don't have this 5-star in the name of the world, right? Okay, you go to the next one, right? Do you have this one? Okay, you don't have that one. You go to the next one, and you keep going down until you kind of find one that you have, or one that you can easily get, as well as giving you stat priority and all that stuff, right? And then if you scroll a little bit down, it gives you, teams. And again, these teams will be updated as the game and the site kind of grow in the next like couple of weeks or so. But let's just take this team for example, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. I like Natasha. I don't like Trailblazer Fire. Okay, so you go over here, you go to MC, and it tells you the class that they are, right? Which is preservation. So in this team comp, they're a shielder. Okay, so imagine, if you will, the game's a little bit further along. There's more characters, right? You're like, okay, I want a different preservation character, right? You come over here, you click the little preservation tab here, and it gives you all the rest of the characters that are that class, right? Which is great, because then you can be like, oh, cool, I don't want to use Trailblazer Fire, but I got Japard. I like Japard, dude. You click on Japard, boom, there he is, right? And you can kind of slot him in and figure him out, and then go with it. Now, again, these teams, anything that you'll see that's like best team or like whatever, right? It's most of that is like theoretical, or even better yet, no one knows because the game is really new. So kind of take this team, play around with it, add some characters you like, add some characters you don't, right? And then as you play more of the game, you'll be better at the team building aspect. But again, this is really, really great for a baseline, especially for newer players. That is why I'm giving this to you, because, or like even promoting this at all, because it gives you a lot of information that's not readily available in the game. And here's what I'm talking about. Like, here's a great example, right? Let's go to a character builder, right? Pick our boy Arlen here. Scroll down to, oh, I don't know, relic main stat, right? It will tell you that the main stat that stuff rolls with or can roll with. This is amazing. I was looking for this information for a little bit, and that's how I stumbled upon the site, where it's like, it will give you all the possibilities of the main stat that it can roll with, which is great. Again, really great baseline for people coming in and asking these questions of like, hey, what do I build? What's good with this person? What's good with this team? And you'll like come through here, right? And there's some characters that have this unavailable. It didn't actually have this yesterday, so like they're actively updating this too, which is great. But you'll have who did I click on earlier? I can't remember who it was. I think it was Pela. Yeah. So like Pela, she didn't have builds or whatever. But again, this is a great baseline and they're building it. And I cannot tell you how much like this resource alone can help you really learn the fundamentals of the game. And again, the reason why I'm promoting this is because it has so much good stuff all in one place that I just it almost feels worthless to me to make the guides, because they're doing all the work in the back end and just culminating all of this, like all of this stuff, which is great. Because you have stuff like, you know, reroll guide, right? You have stuff like team building, which will give you, you know, the kind of lay of the land and tell you stuff that's how to make a team, stuff like that, right? Character stats, all kind of stuff that you can kind of go with. And then even past that, you go to this guide section right here. It'll tell you the best battle pass. Like if you're gonna buy the battle pass, it'll tell you the best ones that you can get, kind of like for your money, right? And with like damage comparisons and stuff, which is really great. And then also similarly universe builds, which is again like rough stuff, just to kind of give you the like the beginner knowledge, that way you can get in there, play with it, and then really understand the game. This site to me, especially as it gets further down the line, is going to be the only guide that you're ever going to need, because at that point they're going to really give you the base hitting stuff, and they'll have the theoretical best DPS stuff, right? If you go to DPS rankings, you already have this stuff right here, boom, with calculations, with how it's run, everything like that, right? I don't know. I think this site is the only site that you will ever need for guides, because after you go to this site and you kind of search around, you look around with it, at that point you'll be playing the game for a while, you'll be a veteran, you'll have the knowledge that you need to know. So for beginners, especially if you're looking to be like, hey, how do I build this character, what do I do with this team, what relics or main stat are good with this person, right? Because it also gives you priority lists. Let's go to go back to my boy Sampo, right? Give you priority lists of that, substats, your traces, stuff like that, right? And if it doesn't have it for the character, give it a day. Give it a day. They'll have it. Again, the game's new. Okay? They'll have it. I cannot tell you how fundamentally awesome this is, and how much like I really respect any kind of like this. Like Max Roll did it for Lost Ark. I love that shit. Yeah. Which again, a lot of like the veteran players are gonna be like, you know, Max Roll, whatever. But like who we're not talking about that shit. Just go to this site, especially if you're a beginner, look at it, mess around with it, see what you think, and I guarantee you will come out of this being a better player and having a better fundamental knowledge. And I again think this is the only guide you'll ever need. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.